I still hear the drums at night. Soft, distant, but always there. And when they stop, that's when the shadows move. It started in my village, deep in the heart of West Africa. Life was simple, farming, trading, and the occasional festival. But everything changed when my cousin, Kofi, stole from the Juju Man. The Juju Man lived on the edge of the village, in a hut surrounded by twisted trees and bones hanging from strings. No one went near him unless they had to. He was old, his skin like cracked leather, and his eyes, they were black, like two empty holes. People said he could talk to spirits, heal the sick, or curse you so bad your family would suffer for generations. Kofi didn't believe in any of that. He was young and reckless, always laughing at the elders' warnings. One night, he bragged to me about sneaking into the Juju Man's hut and stealing a small wooden statue. "It's just a carving," he said, grinning. "What's the worst that could happen?" The next morning, Kofi was gone. No one could find him. His mother cried and begged the Juju Man for help, but the old man just smiled and said he took what wasn't his. Now he belongs to them. I didn't understand what he meant until the drum started. At first, it was faint, like a heartbeat in the distance. But every night, they got louder. And every night, strange things happened. Goats went missing, their bones found clean and white in the morning. The crops withered, even though the rains came. And people swore they saw figures moving in the dark, just outside the firelight. Then the dreams began. I'd see Kofi standing in a dark forest, his face pale and his eyes wide with fear. He'd whisper, "They are coming," before the shadows swallowed him. I'd wake up sweating, the sound of drums echoing in my ears. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I went to the Juju Man's hut. He was waiting for me, sitting cross-legged by a small fire. The stolen statue was in his hands. "You want to save your cousin?" he asked, his voice like dry leaves. I nodded, too scared to speak. "Then you must take his place," he said. I froze. "What do you mean?" He held out the statue. "Take this. Return it to the forest where it belongs. But know this, if you fail, the curse will follow you. And they will never stop coming." I took the statue. It was heavier than it looked, and cold, like holding a piece of ice. The Juju Man pointed to the forest. "Go." Before the drum stopped, I ran. The forest was pitch black, the trees closing in around me. The drums grew louder, faster, like they were chasing me. I didn't know where I was going, but my feet seemed to move on their own. Finally, I reached a clearing. In the center was a tree with twisted roots, and at its base was a small hole. I placed the statue inside and stepped back. The drum stopped. For a moment, there was silence. Then the wind picked up, howling through the trees. The shadows around me seemed to come alive, swirling and twisting. I heard whispers, voices I didn't understand. And then, a hand grabbed my shoulder. I turned. It was Kofi. His face was pale, his eyes hollow. "Thank you," he said, before collapsing to the ground. I carried him back to the village. He was alive, but he never spoke again. The drums never returned, but sometimes, when the wind blows just right, I swear I can hear them. And I know they are waiting. The Juju Man's hut is empty now. They say he disappeared the same night I returned the statue. But I still see him in my dreams, standing at the edge of the forest, watching me. And I know one day, the drums will start again.